I wanted to talk about filling in the 2,000-year gap. When reading the Bible more and more, you begin to see the lies told to us about Jesus Christ, our earth, history, and much more. When you sit down and read the passages in the Bible, you can see it is written in past tense. It's just like Matthew chapter 16, verse 28, how Christ said that there will be some standing here that shall not taste death until they see his return. That obviously clearly states that Jesus was talking about his disciples at that time frame. And Jesus was alive. So if Christ had died and rose from the grave in 33 AD, I mean, that should say something. And then what I wanted to bring up was just like Revelation 7 talks about the 7 churches, you know, Ephesus, Smyrna, Pergamum, and so forth. We don't have those churches anymore, and our maps have been changed around so much. You know, the biblical lands are supposed to be in America, but nobody knows where that is. I had also mentioned in one of my videos on the same short season about how our maps have changed. And if you read Matthew chapter 24, it talks about when Jesus told them, when you shall see the abomination that maketh desolate, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, whosoever readeth, let him understand, and in those who are in Judea to flee to the mountains. So we have millions of Americans, and if that day were to come, how would we all get on a plane to fly to Judea and flee to the mountains? And we don't really know where Judea is anymore, as our maps have been changed. So that's one thing. And then the letters that Paul wrote to the churches about Christ's return, salvation, and everything, that was all written in that time frame. And other things I wanted to bring up is something that I think is interesting. And it's the things that people owned in ancient times. And that's artifacts, the pottery, the housing, the clothing, all that. If you look at today's civilization, pretty much all of it, you know, we don't have cloaks, tunics anymore. We don't have denarii, the money used for payments, purchases, and, you know, so forth. Gold coins with Caesar on it or anything. And the other thing interesting is that we don't have spearmen, chariots, horsemen, or anything anymore. All of that stuff was written in the past. And it, to me, also can prove that the seals of Revelation must have occurred as well. An example would be the Euphrates River, and that's a common one that we hear about for the end times prophecies to be fulfilled. But interestingly, if you read Revelation on Euphrates River, it talks about how the Euphrates River is dried up to make way for the kings of the east. But we don't need to wait for that, because in today's civilization, we have the technology now to just fly over the Euphrates River. We can build dams to dry up rivers now and, you know, sail across seas and everything to start a war or to make way for, you know, for kings, you know, and such. And it doesn't make sense that it didn't happen already. And another one is John was in tribulation with the saints in the Isle of Patmos. You know, all of that stuff was written, and it was about what was to shortly take place. Let's see here. And all the apostles, they went to the ends of the earth to preach the gospel already. And if you read the scriptures, it talks about their deaths, where they went, and it even mentions, like where they went. I came across a video it likely they hit dynasties that were there, Asia provinces and such. So they all went to the ends of the earth, India, you name it, and preached the gospel. We also had famines and pestilences in ancient times. So it's always preached, interestingly, or oddly, it's preached in the church all the time that Christ died in 33 AD, and that was over 2,000 years ago. And these are in the standard modern day churches that preach about the 7-year tribulation and so forth. So it doesn't make sense that prophecy just stopped when Jesus Christ died on the cross and rose from the grave in 33 AD. And then there's a 2,000 year gap of nothing but the Dark Ages. So the question is, what happened those last 2,000 years? Are we in Satan's short season? I believe so. Amen.